Hi, my name is Yazmin Flores. I am a part of Red Team, and today my team and I will be talking to you about Porter's competitive forces. Porter's five forces model is a strategic tool used to make an analysis of the value of an industry structure. The five forces model is constructed of the following: threat of new entrants, threat of substitute products, bargaining power of buyers, bargaining power of suppliers, and finally, competitive rivalry within an industry. Threat of new entrants. The entry of competitors into an industry drives a competitive advantage into making for better products as well as a wider variety of products. The intensity of threats of new entrants is influenced by a number of factors, some of which include switching cost, economies of scale, and brand loyalty. Switching costs refer to the one-time cost that buyers incur if they switch from one company's product to another. In order for new entrants to overcome the switching cost barrier, they must offer buyers bigger price cuts or extra quality or service, which in return can mean lower profit margins for new entrants. New entrants must also face the barrier of economies of scale by requiring that the new entrants come on large scale, risking strong reaction from existing competitors, or come into small industry scale accepting cost disadvantages. Economies of scale refer to the decline in unit cost of a product or service. Take, for example, the car making industry. Not only must new entrants overcome the economies of scale in terms of unit cost and switching cost, in order for car makers to be successful, they must also break through brand loyalty. In the car making industry, brand loyalty is among one of the most difficult barriers to overcome, and as such, new entrants must spend a great deal of money and time to differentiate their product.
The next topic of discussion will be the threat of substitute products. The threat of substitute product basically entails how easily a product or service can be substituted, especially made cheaper. Threat of substitutes depend on quality. Is the substitute better? Buyers. Are they willing to buy the substitute? The relative price and performance of substitute. And finally, the cost of switching to substitute. Is it easy to change to another product? For many industries where there is a threat of new entrant, there is also a threat of substitute. This is a product that provides the same type of satisfaction, but it could be just technologically different. One of the industries that is a good example of this was the photography industry, where you initially had Eastman Kodak develop the film and had been an industry leader for quite some time. One of the first substitutes offered was the Polaroid instant picture. Though it did offer an instant picture, it did not offer a negative that could replicate the same photo. The next major wave was the digital camera. Although it could be easily replicated, the quality was diminished. And now you have cell phones, which offer really good quality of photographies at an instance.
The bargaining power of the buyers. The bargaining power of the buyer is similar to the bargaining power of the suppliers. It asks the question, how strong is the position of buyers? An example of an industry with as strong buyers would be subcontractors in the car making industry. The contractors only have a limited amount of potential clients, but each of the clients command a large share of their own market. On the other hand, an example of an industry with weak buyers would be various retailers like Walmart versus an average individual consumers. In the end, what we really want is a truly competitive market where not one buyer or seller can determine the price of any products, but instead they are set by supply and demand of the market. The bargaining power of the suppliers. Essentially, the bargaining power of the suppliers can have a huge impact in the industry. By saying the bargaining power of the suppliers, we are meaning the importance of a specific supplier within the industry, or how strong is the position of that supplier. An example of a strong supplier would be Microsoft. For many years, the PC industry faces almost monopolistic power of the Windows operating system, making Microsoft a dominant force within the industry. On the other hand, an industry with weak supplier power would be various brands of cereals versus Walmart. Because Walmart has such a large volume of buying power, some of the smaller product firms has to meet the quality and price standard that Walmart set for them in order to do business with them. But beside for only profits, firms may also use the power for other purposes like to increase reputation within the industry, branding, or even lowering costs by shifting some of the overhead costs to the people they are supplying to.
The final force that we will be discussing today is rivalry within an industry. Competitive rivalry in an industry is the major determinant of the competitiveness of the industry. This includes the structure of the competition, the structure of the industry costs, the degree of the product differentiation, switching costs, strategic objectives, and the exit barriers. When we think of competition, we think of industry competitors, or the inner rivalry that are in the industry. These are the firms that are already providing a similar service or products. It is important for you to understand this, as you may want to know how intense the competition is. Some examples of rivalries in their industries are McDonald's, Burger King, and Subway in the fast food industry, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Dr. Pepper in the beverage industry.
Porter's five forces combines a variety of different aspects on an industry to analyze its value. As you can see, each force is composed of a number of barriers for entrance, and when combined, help to explain each industry and its companies. As time progresses, we will be able to note how some companies fade due to new competition and others will slow growth in their industry.